Welcome back everybody to another F1 Manager 24 video. This time we are in Australia. However, we also have some new developments with the car. Apparently we have the #1 overall car, which is it's kind of cool to have actually. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if we had level 5 drivers, I'll tell you what, we'd be out there. Anyway, we have the #1 overall car because we do have a new underfloor. As you can see, it's the CBR24UF-2 for the underfloor and the CBR24FW-2 for the front wing. So we have new front wings on both drivers. However, we have a very poor gearbox. Gee, I wonder why. It wouldn't be because they were slammed against the wall in Jeddah. Who knows? But anyway, but now all three of those parts have been goodly used, I should say. So we are going to be, we now have practice parts for practice. And then when we go onto the race, we'll put them on new parts. But it is exciting to see that we do now have the #1 overall car. Our mentality hub has turned into mostly neutral, unless it was already like that before. What's her name? Sophia Flourish has the lowest of the lowest, and she's down here. Still only have one positive, and we're still waiting to get our very first enthusiastic. But yeah, it is what it is. Negative, negative, positive, neutral, negative, neutral, negative, neutral, negative, and then positive, negative, positive. So, team performance-wise, I'm not exactly sure why they're upset with that, as we are sitting P5 in the drivers. So, like first year after 2 races, we got 6 points. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Also, I've noticed that my first video and my second video were about 10 minutes apart. I'm going to try a little bit harder to shorten that up, like I think I was doing good at trying to keep them at about 15 minutes apart last year. And that's kind of sort of what I want to do in general. Just keep them at around 10 to 15 minutes. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And yeah, wish me luck on that. Enjoy the video, as I will see you again in qualifying. I have lied. I will see you before qualifying. I just wanted to do this real quick because I was going to go ahead and try to pull Abby Pulling over into my affiliates, because if we go and we look at my affiliates, they are unnamed people. Like, they're not real life people, and I wanted some real life people in my affiliate program. And Abby Pulling was just, she's up top. She's up top. On top of that, she's a 59 overall at 20 years old. So I was like, you know what? She ultimately would be better than Sophia Flourish. Don't tell Sophia I said that. Anyway, but I sent the contract, and she is in negotiations. So this isn't a quick yes or no. It'll send the contract proposal, and then we have to wait for their response. That is actually pretty cool, because now, like, if I really want somebody, and everybody's like that, where, oh, you have to wait up to 28 days before you get your answer. I'm not gonna lie, like, the hope, the wonder, the please, yeah, that'll go up. Anyway, this time for real, I will see you in qualifying. Here we are in the Australian Grand Prix qualifying Q1, as Ollie Bearman is coming down the front stretch to the start-finish line, and he will take #1, 116.9. Flo will be 0.044 seconds behind him. However, Perez, who was behind Flo, will end up taking the #1 spot for now with a 116.8. Here we are coming to the end of qualifying, and Ollie Bearman's in P5 and Sophia Flourish is in P6 at the moment. Sophia doing better in her second round as Ollie Bearman comes across the line, and he's not going to improve. Flo, did she seriously not improve either? She had a green sector 1, a purple sector 2, and a yellow sector 3. She must have been real slow in that third sector for it not to improve any at all, whereas Bearman had a yellow sector 1 and a green sector 2 and 3, and he didn't really improve at all either. So, I don't know, man. We have grid penalties. We have grid penalty. I'm not exactly sure why we have grid penalties because I don't know. I really don't know. We both went in to qualifying with brand new, but this is still right after Q1. I didn't see anything during qualifying to give us a grid penalty. I wish it would tell us why, but yeah, we don't. Here comes Ollie Behrman around the last turn, holding all the purple sectors because Sophie wasn't quite faster than him. I thought that Haz was going to give us a thing down the front stretch, but it did not. We come across with a 116.9. Yo, what was that? Bro, I was looking at the scoreboard and I saw Ollie Behrman turn sideways. I thought he had spun out. I thought maybe he had hit that McLaren or whatnot, but that was... Anyway, like I was saying, Flo is like a second slower than Behrman, so there's that. Here comes Ollie Behrman and Sophia Flores. Ollie Behrman currently sitting P5, getting a slipstream from Max Verstappen. Flo in the bottom 6, but now up into the top 10 as she finishes P7. There are a couple of people I don't think... 1, 2, 3... She would need 4 people to outdo her, but I don't think that is going to be a problem. Here comes Ollie Behrman, who is clearly faster than Sophia Flores. They came out right behind each other, and on that flying lap, you can see the gap that he put in between them. Comes out across with a 116.3, and Flo is going to be 1 second, 1.4 seconds behind him. This is the final flying lap that we are about to start as we look through the eyes of Ollie Behrman as he comes across the line. And now we look through the eyes of Sophia Flores in her first Q3 as she comes across the line. She is sitting P10. Behrman is sitting P3 at the moment with Verstappen on provisional pole. And in front of him in P2 is Leclerc. So now it is time to see if... Can we get our first provisional pole? Can we get our first pole? I have no idea. I doubt it, but it would be nice. It would be cool to see a rookie on a pole position as he is a yellow sector 1. Sophia Flores coming across sector 1 with a green sector, so she is improving her lap so far. Ollie Behrman coming down to the end of sector number 2, coming up on somebody who doesn't look like he is on a lap, so yeah, they are definitely slowing you down. Who was that? Was that by chance? No, it was definitely Perez. It was definitely Perez that slowed him down, so Perez playing the team game here as Sophia Flores gets a green sector 2, but back to what I was saying, Perez playing the team game here to help his teammates stay on provisional pole. Ollie Behrman, not really a threat to take it away or even keep it, but he comes down to the line here with 2 yellow sectors. Can he improve that time any? No, it doesn't look like it, but here comes Sophia Flores to finish out her first Q3 qualifying as she moves up 1 spot ahead of Carlos Sainz to take P9, so she will be starting in P9. Ollie Behrman sitting P3 at the moment as we take a look at Oscar Piastri. I always wondered why, like, the visors look different, you know what I mean? Like, is it where they are? Because, like, ew, Sainz had a red tint to it. That looked clear. Anyway, where's Piastri? And then Piastri looks like he does not even wearing a colored visor at all. But anyway, we're not looking through his. We are trying to see if he is going to put in a decent lap or if he's coming into the pit lanes. And that's what it is. Ollie Behrman will start P... Oh, actually, there's a penalty. I forgot about that. Max Verstappen takes pole here in Australia with Charles Leclerc behind him. Ollie Behrman gets fast enough to get P3, but he does have a penalty, and I don't know where that's going to put him. Lando Norris will start P4, Sergio Perez P5, Oscar Piastri P6, Lance Stroll P7, George Russell P8, Sophia Flores fast enough for P9, but she also has a grid penalty, so we don't know where she's going to end up, and Carlos Sainz is P10. P11 is Fernando Alonso, 12th is Ricardo, 13th is Hamilton, 14th is Hulkenberg, 15th is Sonoda, 16th is Ocon. What did I say? 15th? Yeah. So 16th, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 16th was Ocon. 17th is Sargent. 18th is Guan Yu. 18th is Bottas. 19th is Albon. 19th is Gasly. 20th. No, anyway, Kevin Magnussen's in last place. I completely lost my count. I don't know what happened. I wish they would put the grid order before the race, but they really don't. So, anyway. Okay, so qualifying was a complete waste of time. How did I get a 21 place grid penalty for both of my drivers? I have no idea. I don't know what I did.
Get ready for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Away we go as we start P21 and P22 as we're going to watch the leaders, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, race down to turn number 1, and it looks like it will be Max Verstappen leading this race. Piastri trying to make a move on Sergio Perez, looking for the outside, but nothing is going to happen there as we have some more cars bunched up back here. We have Sargent side by side with Ocon. Sargent going way off the road there. But he is going to end up behind Ocon in P15. We have Zhou and Bottas now side by side fighting each other for position. Let's see which one of those will get that one. Zhou leading by just a little bit, and now Bottas. And well, you haven't seen them in a little bit. We have Magnussen and Gasly behind the two, who are still side by side coming through here. Sector 2. As Sector 2 wins, Bottas will win that. Then you have Magnussen in 18th. Gasly in 19th, Albon in 20th, Behrman and Sophia Flores holding down in the back there, and losing position, not losing position, but losing time behind everybody pretty quickly as Behrman goes side by side with Alexander Albon coming down to the last couple of turns, but it is going to be Albon who will take that one. And now that we have gone through all that, we're going to go ahead and hit that ×2 so that this doesn't take stupid long. Here comes Ollie Behrman. He took the inside and he took that aggressively. Ollie Behrman not going to be able to do anything in that turn 1, but Flores will be able to do something. Was there like a 3 wide? No, it is Gasly and Magnussen. Here we come down the second one. Ollie Behrman pulling out to the outside of Gasly as they go side by side, and Ollie Behrman trying to hold on to position number 19 as he will indeed get it. The last race, looked like he wanted that inside. Nico Hulkenberg up in the front trying to make moves on people as well. Oh snap, it is 2x2 as we are side by side with Magnussen, Hulkenberg side by side with Ocon, and we are going to get in front of Magnussen for P18 with Ollie Behrman. Behrman's also going to get in front of Nico Hulkenberg right there as well, and now he is looking at the back end of Ocon. I thought there for a second he was going to try to make a move as he's up. Oh, it looked like he was up the inside, but Ocon is going to stop that one. Sophia Flores is also back there. Adding those numbers, it feels weird, but also cool at the same time because it's my team. Ollie Behrman up the inside on Esteban Ocon, and he's going to get it. He's up in the P16. So, it's exciting stuff. She's coming out, pulling out on the inside of Kevin Magnussen down into turn 1, but she's not going to get it. Magnussen closes that window and puts up a little bit more of a separation. So now she has more work to do as Ollie Behrman does get in front of Valtteri Bottas. Now with about a second and a half between himself and Zhou Guan Yu, and I don't really expect her to make any moves as it looks like it's 3 wide between herself, Gasly, and Magnussen. Coming down into the last couple of turns, the last chicane, she's going to back out of that one. Probably smart, as it looked like Ocon was going to push her off if she stayed side by side, and she tries again there with Magnussen. One more DRS zone as Gasly gets away from all of them up the inside on Kevin Magnussen. Can she hold on to it to get into the top 20? And she can. She will. And now she is also right behind Bottas. Behrman now up into P14. I don't know. Did he get in front of Sargent off camera or did we not see it? However, we do see him get in front of Zhou Guanyu, who was about 10 and a half seconds, 11 seconds, 11 and a half seconds. Yeah, just keep going, keep going. He's already over a second to Zhou, which isn't bad. We're going to leave him on that for... We're actually, you know what? We're going to deploy our ERS to try to get away from them. Along with Sonoda, who's right there. Behrman up into P12, up into P11, getting in front of Sainz, who just had a pit stop issue. Sophia Flores looking up the inside once again on Pierre Gasly, as she will get up in front of him. And I didn't see any DRS there on that stretch for either one, so that's a little weird. She's really starting to move. Coming down the front stretch. She's looking for the inside. She's also going to get in front of Alonso, who just comes out of the pit stop. So that's going to give her P14. Looking around the outside, but Hulkenberg's going to close that one. As we look at Behrman now, he is up in the top 10 spot from Nico Hulkenberg. As they come around to the front stretch, going down to turn 1, Sophia looking for the inside. And Sophia will have it, but she won't have any DRS. See, did they turn off the DRS there in this game? Because I'm not seeing anybody use DRS there. Looking at P13, trying to hold on to it with Magnussen behind her, Alonso behind him, and it looks like it's going to be one of those, here, let me hold on, here, no, you have it, no, you have it. As we have the inside, now the outside coming down the front stretch, who's going to have the DRS? That's the real question. It's not going to be Sophia Flores, as it's Magnussen in front of her who has it, and they cut off Lewis Hamilton. Sophia Flores up into P13, Oliver Behrman back up into P10. Seven-time world champ driver Lewis Hamilton was behind one of my drivers. He decided to lock up and hit a wall, so let's hope that does not happen again this time around. As she looks up the inside on Nico Hulkenberg and up into P12 she goes. Behrman now up into P8 as the pit window has been open and Lance Stroll is looking for that inside on him. But Lance Stroll is not going to get it. See, right here, that's a DRS zone, and neither driver has it. So I'm very, very confused as both drivers side by side going through that one. And Lance Stroll, he will take P8, and that's going to put Oliver Behrman back down to P9. But they only have one pit stop each to go, and Oliver Behrman's is coming up as Fernando Alonso will now get in front of Sophia Flores here. As we go to ×1 here, right? And see, DRS zone. No DRS. It doesn't even say she has DRS. Alonso doesn't have it. The guy behind, no one has DRS there. Did they turn off the DRS there? That's all I want to know. Go back into ×2. We're looking at Flo here, who just got passed by both of the World Championship drivers. She held him back for a little bit. Last garage off on 2.7, so it's not the worst. He drops down to P14. He will be right behind Sophia Flores. We're going to tell Sophia Flores not to fight her teammate. Go ahead and let him through. He should have DRS. I don't know. He did get it. Okay. He did, in fact, get it. You take her pit stop as she comes in. Off on 2.6. We'll take it. 2.6 we'll take it. And that's going to drop her all the way back down. All the way back down to P20 behind Zhou Guanyu and them. But that is kind of sort of what we're looking for, is some hope that some people in front of him will box as he gets up in front of Lewis Hamilton. And he is now in the top 10. He's back in the points where he feels like he belongs, I think. So hers is pretty high. Let's go back to intervals as Ollie Behrman is over a second in front of Alonso. Sophia Flores making more moves now as she moves up to P19 and stuff, as we have a couple of cars. They just went completely wide. But that's Gasly and Sargent into the pit lane, so that's going to move her up into P17 as she was looking for the inside there on Zhou Guanyu, but wasn't able to get it. She's going to get the outside? No. Zhou Guanyu is going to close that window on for Sophie. Yeah, she still has Ocon up there ahead of her, who's probably going to have to box again. I don't know about Magnussen. Magnussen might not have to box again, but Magnussen now has a fault issue. No telling what that is. Does it tell us what it is if we look at it?
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Is he saying that because he got passed by a woman? I didn't see the Red Bull. It just looked like she slowed down and let two people pass her. But that is not at all what happened. She looks up the inside, going down into turn 1 on Esteban Ocon. Ocon's going to bring it back on the inside, but no, he's not going to have it. Now she's looking for the outside on Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg is going to close that window. Down, Oliver Behrman doing an absolute tremendous drive here as Sophia Flores gets up in front of Nico Hulkenberg. And here we are in Sector 2 of the very final lap. It is Max Verstappen leading this race over Lando Norris, who was on the softer tire. But Max Verstappen has the stronger percentage of the tire, and Lando Norris takes the inside to take the lead before the last 2 turns. But we've seen this before in Jeddah. Who is actually going to take the win here in Australia? And it is going to be Lando Norris, who will take his very first ever win here in the 2024 season. His very first win ever, as his first win in real life doesn't come up until Miami, as we have Oscar Piastri. He's going to take 3rd place with Sainz, Leclerc behind him, and then Perez. George Russell coming in P7, 32 seconds behind the rest of the people in front of him, obviously, as he has not even made it to the whatever you want to call it, the chicane. There we go. Sophia Flores comes across the line first out of the 2 teammates because she was a lap, so she will finish P14 after starting in P22. George Russell takes P7. Here comes Lance Stroll to take P8, and here comes P9, Oliver Behrman getting points once again for Cringy F1 Racing here in the 3rd round of the season. And to finish out the top 10, there's a little battle there. Yuki Tsunoda and Alonso racing to the line, but it's going to be Alonso by a 10th, technically 2 tenths, over Fernando Alonso. Tsunoda taking that one singular point. The points, Crofty, chill out. Lando Norris taking his first ever win. It is going to be a McLaren podium this time around, so we love to see that.
It's their first F1 victory after all.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but it was a thrilling weekend here for us all at the Australian Grand Prix.
I didn't want to listen to that no more because I feel like, if they really understood what happened, it's computer, like, oh, they have the best car overall, but they finished P9 and P15. But what they don't realize is I have 2 rookie drivers who I believe are both in the one's 58 overall. I think the other one's 70 something overall. And one went from P21 to P9, and the other one went from P22 to P, I think she finished 14. But anyway, Lando Norris getting his first ever Formula 1 victory here in the Cringy universe. Max Verstappen getting P2, Oscar Piastri P3, Carlos Sainz P4, Charles Leclerc P5, Sergio Perez P6, George Russell P7, Lance Stroll P8, Oliver Behrman moving up 12 spots today in Australia to finish P9, and Yuki Tsunoda taking that last point away. And then we have Sophia Flores, who started at P22, moving up 8 spots today here in Australia to finish in P14 in this race. So, yeah, she didn't get points at all. But overall, I am very, very happy for Oliver Behrman. But I'm also very happy with Sophia Flores' output here in this race for overcoming that 21 grid penalty that literally came out of nowhere. I still have no idea where that came from, because I do know for a fact that you are allowed to switch parts in between P3 and Q1, so that just doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, moving on to the Drivers' Constructions, Max Verstappen is leading that one with 68 points after gaining 18 points today, but Lando Norris, he is going to move up into 2nd place with 52 points, closing that gap between himself and Max Verstappen. And I don't know about you guys, but I am kind of hoping for a championship race and not just a championship blowout coming to the end of this season. Lando Norris, he is P2 after moving up a position. Charles Leclerc dropping down to P3. Then you have Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri, George Russell, Ollie Behrman still in P8, but now with 8 points as he gains an extra 2 points after this weekend. Lance Stroll moving up to P9, Lewis Hamilton dropping down to P10. Then you have Yuki Tsunoda moving up to P11 as he gains a point this weekend. Fernando Alonso dropping down to P12. And Daniel Ricciardo, Danny Rick, this man right here, he's got 0 points, but he's leading the 0-point runners. Alexander Albon in 14th, Nico Hulkenberg, Sophia Flores moving up 6 positions today to take over P16 in the driver's standings. Then Esteban Ocon dropping down to 17, Valtteri moving up to 18, Pierre Gasly dropping down twice down to P19, Kevin Magnussen moving down 2 spots to P20, Logan Sargent moving down a spot to P21, and Zhou Guanyu moving down a spot to P22. Moving on to the Constructors, Red Bull leading it with 102 points, but McLaren trying to close that gap. They almost doubled Red Bull's points today as they move up to P2 with 83. And then Ferrari dropping down to third place with 82 points. So there's a 1 point difference between 2 and 3. And I'm not going to do that math, but there is a point difference between 2 and 1. Mercedes holds on to P4, Cringy F1 Racing holds on to P5, Aston Martin holding on to P6, Red Bull holding on to P7, and Williams leading the 0-pointers with Haas behind them and Alpine, and then Kick Sauber in last. So there is 4 teams who have still yet to score, and honestly, I'm just surprised we're not in last, but I did know coming into the season we were going to have a decent car. However, I did not know it was going to be the 3rd best car on the grid. And coming in today with only 2 different upgrades, we had the underfloor and the front wing upgrade. I did not know that that was going to put us at the best car on the grid. Obviously, that's not going to last because the other cars, they're going to start doing upgrades as well. But sitting P5, I'm still astonished at that. We're not in double points. In fact, we're tied with Aston Martin at the moment. So with our car the way it is and our drivers the way it is, I'm just glad to be inside the points. I'm glad to be in the top 5, but in reality 6 is now, I think, 5 was the halfway point. I guess it would be 5.5. So 6 and 5 is considered the halfway point in my eyes. Let me know if you think otherwise. Moving on to the results of the pit stops. We don't have anybody in the top 10 today, as the quickest one is a 2.5, and that was Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. McLaren is in there twice, V-Carb is in there twice, Ferrari is in there twice. So that is going to help their points here in the DHL Fastest Pit Stop Constructors Championship. I think that's how that works. I'm sure it goes by constructors. But McLaren holding on, Ferrari moving up to P2, Red Bull P3, V-Car P4, Aston Martin moving down, so does Mercedes, Alpine. Williams actually moves up 2 spots, putting Kick Sauber down, and CringeyJesse F1 Racing into P10. We are last place out of all the points, and then there's Haas, who has no points at all, so they're just definitely in last place. That is the end of the Australian Grand Prix, and coming to the end of the Australian Grand Prix, Ollie Behrman is sitting P8 in the Drivers' Championship. However, he is now a 75 overall driver instead of a 74. He just moved up to that. Sophia Flores has moved up to P16, but still a 58 overall driver. The Mentality Hub, the team race results, the biggest issue is Melbourne, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but Raphael is now the lowest mentality, which means it is no longer, what's her name? It's no longer what's her name? Negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive. Hey-oh. That is not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted at all. Go back, go back, go back. We're not trying to take up a lot of time. Oh, yeah, no. Teresa Nunez is still the most positive person we have. We have no negatives, so it's 1 and 8. And that will be a positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive. Oh, snap. That used to say neutral. Negative, neutral, negative, or whatever. Neutral, 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 negative, neutral, negative. Yeah, so they don't like team performance. Neutral, negative, positive. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, he is now a positive, positive. I wish it would let you look at their personal. Happy with personnel qualifying results. Unhappy with personal race results. Personal race retirement. Oh. Personal driver standings. Oh. But see, that's another thing that really doesn't make a lot of sense to me mentality wise, because she did fantastic. She started in P22 and finished in P14, so she actually gained quite a bit of stuff there. Let's go look at Ollie Behrman real quick. Positive personal qualifying stand, driver standings, performance versus teammate, and then his negatives. That's personal. Okay, personal. And then personal race retirement Jeddah. That one makes sense. Okay, he's not mad about his uh, position in the last race. His negatives, he's happy with constructor standings. This is team performance. Happy with qualifying results. Unhappy with team results in Sakir, which is he got top 10. He should be mad. Team results in Jeddah. That one makes sense. And team results in Melbourne. Again, doesn't make sense. They started in P22 and P21. He finished inside the points. She got in the top 15. I'm happy with that. Hopefully that doesn't put a big dent in the stuff, but he's unhappy with other performance, other people, but he is happy with the car performance and the facilities. Can I just look at it through here? Will it tell me here? It will. Car performance and then other staff. So I wonder what the other staff is doing to make them so angry. Anyway, I don't know. But that was Melbourne, and honestly, I don't give two hex what they say. I'm very happy with that outcome. Our season objective, we have a board? We have a board? Oh, let me guess. The board confidence. What, am I going to get fired from my own team? Is that possible? There's absolutely no way. Long term, current progress. We need to get P5 in the constructors by 2028, and it's 2024. Okay, so race performance, they're happy. Objectives, finances, happy or satisfied. Anyway, on target. Anyway, go back. I'm sorry. I'm taking forever, and I know it, and I'm sorry. Anyway, that was Melbourne, and I don't care what they say. I'm very happy with the outcome. I don't know why we got the penalty. I don't know why we started in last place with both of them. That P3 was looking real nice. I was expecting like a 5 grid penalty, but again, I have no idea where that penalty came from, and I wish the game was a little bit more specific so that I know not to do whatever it is they did again next time. However, Japan is up next. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you can't wait for the next one, hit that subscribe button. I enjoy making these videos, and honestly, I just hope you enjoy watching these videos. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep them shorter. I know the last one was about, I think, 40 or so minutes, as I try to stall and move over to my YouTube channel to go look. Yeah, it was about 36 minutes, which was literally 4 minutes shorter, almost on the dot. The very first one with the setup and Bahrain was 40 minutes and 50 seconds, and then Jeddah with literally just the intro qualifying blah 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 was 36 minutes and 53 seconds. So literally 4 minutes on the dot, being shorter. So yeah, I'm gonna try my hardest to keep these shorter, around the 10-15 minute mark, because I am not big enough to be doing 50-minute long videos like Arva over here. Let's go look real quick. I bet Arva's right here. Yes, he's got a 50-minute video 7 hours ago and 30,000 views. I'm not that good. I'm not that good. So I have no business putting up 30 to 40-minute videos. So I'm going to try my best not to do that. Anyway, the best way to do that is to stop talking, Jesse, and tell these people that you will catch them next time. Yes, I will do that. I will do that. I don't know what it is you do outside of YouTube, but I hope you enjoy your life doing so, and I will catch you next time.